there are really a relatively few people, many who will say, yeah, I believe in the Second Amendment. And I have guns, I hunt, I use them for target practice and all of that, they'll say that. But to stand up in a consistent fashion and to carry it right through conclusion to gaining control of our liberty again in our country to boot. So often they wear out and they tire. And I'm speaking to the choir here, I know, because you're activists. You're people that have committed yourself to this issue and even broader issues of liberty. But I'm saying this to encourage you and thank you for that. But I'm saying this also to encourage you to get in the face, as it were, if necessary, of some of our friends, family members, and supporters, and say, if indeed you feel the way you say you feel, if indeed you are concerned about the massive government takeover that we're seeing going on now. You know, when you hear reports today that in New York, they're proposing legislation to do away with salt in any restaurant food. I mean, that's good economic development, let alone bad health. I worked at the steel mills in the south side of Chicago, and I remember taking salt tablets and salt candy, and just straight salt at times to keep myself from dehydrating to the point and losing everything. And that's the type of thing of the nanny state that's going on here. What we drive, what we fill our tanks with. My Dodge Ram 2500 with a Hemi in it sitting out there, and I got to admit to you, may have been a little bit unchristian, but I finally decided I'm up in Ann Arbor an awful lot as part of my district, and I got tired of seeing some of these Prius drivers go by with their nose up in the air and looking at my truck. And I like my truck, it's safe, it does what I have to do with it. I've got a car too, but I love my truck, let Sue have the car, that's what she wants. But finally I decided, nuts with this, I'm going to go to the local body shop and ask them to put that, you know, the old Daytona racing stripe on the... Something you're getting already. But I had them build me a Daytona black racing stripe on my red truck that says Hemi right in the center of it. Big Hemi. So it may be a...
Tim, those Priuses are still going a lot faster, and they can't be stopped.
They're not stopping. Unless I put my Hemi in front of it and slow it down. But I know it's not all that Christian, but I get this little bit of glee now when I drive past a Prius in Ann Arbor, and I know when they see my Sarah Palin bumper sticker on the back, and my NRA sticker, and my Harley sticker, and my Walberg sticker on the back, and that Hemi thing on the side of it, that I've just bummed out the day for that living. My wife would kill me for telling that story. No, she wouldn't. She understands me. But I think that's America. That's America. And for my son, who lives in the Chicago area as a journalist for the Chicago Tribune, who heads up their criminal courts and public corruption division, it's job security for him. As long as the papers have it. For him to be a lover of guns, just like his dad, training his young 3-year-old son, my grandson Micah, and they had him out shooting a .22 appropriately at Grandpa's target range behind our barn the last time they were here. For him to have laws on himself with gun, keeping it in his house when they lived downtown Chicago, that would have, if he had, well, I guess I won't go any farther whether he abided by the law or not. The law was wrong that would prohibit a father from taking care of his children, husband taking care of his wife as necessary at the very least, let alone living on the Second Amendment. So these are issues we're facing, and as I looked at that crowd today, and I was thankful, there's about equal numbers of people there. And yet, in many ways, from what we're hearing, there should have been far more of us than them, even though they had to bus them in. And there were certain remunerations and food and everything else that